everyday witches emerge from the shadows of secrecy. Broom closets are flinging open and witches are taking flight. Whether you are hiding in your cozy closet or flying with pride, stay for a spell as Witchcasting with Theodora Pendragon and her guests share magical moments, stir the cauldron, and debunk misinformation and misconceptions about paganism, witches, and our wonderful world of magic.
Theodora Pendragon here, and today we have another special guest. Her name is Sabine, and she's on the other side of the world from me. Hello, Sabine. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, Theodora. Thank you for receiving me. I'm very happy to be here. Yes, I can introduce myself. My name is Sabine Poncelet, very Frenchy name, but I'm from Belgium. I'm speaking French and English. I'm a soul healer and animal communicator. I do also some trauma therapy. I'm a certified coach and a regression therapist. That's what I can say about myself. Let's make it short.
You heal people, and I understand that you also heal animals. Tell us how you do that.
Yes. In general, I'm called because people have issue with the animal, as I'm an animal communicator. But because I'm also a healer and mainly I'm working with celestial beings, I tap the energy into higher realms. Then most of the time I'm channeling from higher realms. And I've noticed with time when I heal animal, I do animal communication with them. I say to people what is the issue, why the animal is behaving this way, why this animal is depressed. And often the animal is absorbing the energy of the owner or the guardian. Then, of course, when people realize that, they're like, how can I fix that? Because my animal will fall sick again because they absorb my energy. Let's say I'm in chronic depression since years. I cannot help myself. I'm on the pills, let's say like this. Then the animal will continue to help. Then what I'm proposing them is continuing the treatment with the doctor, of course, especially in terms of depression, but changing the life, changing the mindset. And I do also coaching and healing with them. Then the animal will continue to absorb because that's their mission, not absorbing. Their mission is not absorbing. Their mission is coming to support us. And they absorb our energy only to help us to cope with the situation that is becoming lighter for us. Let's say I have a headache. My cat, my dog, or my horse will take the heavy part of these headaches to help me to cope with the situation. Then when people start to address their own issue on the root level and they finally heal, what they do, they hold more light. And because they hold more light, the animal continue to absorb because it's a syntony. They become one. I've seen some relationship really, really deep where the animal was the pure mirror of the person. Then they absorb only light and they don't fall sick again.
When you say that they are sick, do you mean mentally, physically, or both?
Both. Mentally, physically, and emotionally. I will give you an example with a dog who stopped to eat for approximately 7 days. And the fact was that the vet finally said to the owner, listen, it's a psychological issue. And what I can do is nothing. Your dog is not eating. Everything is normal. Your dog is not sick. I mean, on the physical level. Then, of course, at that moment, who you call? The animal communicator. And when I met that dog, I started a conversation with the dog. And the dog said to me, "Why do you want me to eat if she doesn't eat?" Then you enter in a very private situation, which is becoming very delicate. But I had to ask the question to the owner, say, "What is going on? Why you don't eat?" The person first started to enter a bit in denial. And then I explained, say, "Listen, your dog is telling me it's not me. Your dog is saying this. Then if you want your dog to start eating, we have to find a compromise that your dog is okay to eat, because he says, I will not eat since she's not eating." Then finally, the person had a breakdown and explained the situation, which I had to heal the person also after. Makes sense. Both of them have been healed. And then I finished the session with the dog, and she had to promise to the dog that she will eat, because she entered into a form of anorexia. She entered, sorry. For her was really difficult to eat, but for the love of her dog, she had to do, because the dog didn't eat for 7 days.
This is very fascinating. Tell us how you hear or feel the animal communicating with you.
Mainly by telepathy. Telepathy is a technique that you use to communicate mind to mind or heart to heart. They have different level of telepathy. You can feel the energy, you can feel the emotions, you can hear words or full sentence. You can receive images also. Mainly animals have the habits to communicate first by images. They send you like a movie somehow, and you need to verify with them and ask more questions to see, okay, you send me yourself running on the beach, what does it mean? But they also create full sentence. It depends the awareness of the animal. Some animal have more wisdom than others, because again, they are a soul incarnated into a different body. They are not in human body. They choose that vessel because they have already a very high evolution in terms of soul, not like us. They are highly evolved in comparison with us. Then some have more wisdom than others, and some don't show also their wisdom, because they need to be in a house where they serve as the fluffy dog for the child, and they don't need to show more than that. That's their mission. Other dogs are there to help people with epilepsy, or German Shepherd who are used in the police, or saving people in earthquakes, stuff like that. They show their intelligence and their wisdom, because that's their mission in this life. But the little fluffy dog that you take for playing with the children, if parents are not connecting with the dog will stay at the level of the children. You get the point, and will not show more. It will stay to balance on a certain level.
Are there certain animals that are easier for you to communicate with than others?
Yes. I would say horses and cats. Yeah, because cats are highly telepathic. Cats, most of the time, are into different dimensions, different realms, and they do their work most of the time out of body. Horse, it's because horse have this wish always to serve constantly, and how can I say, horse have a high level of telepathic abilities. Some dogs, like German Shepherd or other dog in that category, I would say, easy to communicate with. And when you communicate, it's like tak, 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 tak. But some dog, I would say the light, fluffy dogs, that you use as a toy. Sorry to say, it's not a toy, but I mean, some people take it for the children to play, because of the awareness is not developed more in this life, it will be more difficult to communicate with, yes.
Can you also communicate with animals that have passed away and crossed over?
Yeah, of course, I do often. Yeah. And it's helping a lot, especially for the owner, to see if they were in pain when they died, what happened after. And often I get amazing message because they stay around us for a few months to help us to cope with the situation. Yeah. And when you know that, it's already giving you a big relief. Some animal are even explaining what happened the last few hours before they died, or what the owner did at that moment. Then the owner knows that, oh my God, yes, I did exactly that, or I said this just before my animal died. And then for them, it's a reinsurance. And of course, the message I cannot share here because it's very personal in general, are amazing message that are helping a lot. Yes. And they can reveal even things about the new incarnation that will come soon.
Do you have many pet owners coming to you for a reading for those pets that have passed away?
Less than alive, to be honest with you. Yeah, less than alive. In general, people who ask for animal who passed away is because they have already a high level of awareness. They're already awakened, fully awakened.
The person or the animal?
The person. Because if you are not awakened enough, you will have difficulties to understand how it's possible that my dog who died can still communicate with me because he's dead. You must have a level of awareness that is high, and you must be fully awakened to understand that subject. Some people are still not capable. I had clients telling me, I believe that you can communicate with my animal because you told me things that, yes, I can verify. I'm okay with that. But when you start to speak afterlife, no, I don't believe in that. When my dog will die, my dog will be dead. I had people telling me. This is because they have a lack of awareness. You need to educate people, teaching them and speaking their language that they can understand. Because sometimes it's only because you don't speak their language, they understood in the wrong way, then they closed and they don't want to know anything. They keep their belief and they are, no, I'm going that way. This is okay, I can believe. This I don't believe. And they don't want to know more. They don't want to learn about this because it's too late. They receive the information, but maybe the person who spoke about this didn't speak their language. I'm not speaking about English, Chinese. I'm speaking their language in a way that they can understand. This is very important for everything, by the way.
Now, I do believe that our pets linger around for a while after they pass away. I'm not an animal communicator. I don't even comprehend your capability. But what I have experienced is just a sense of their presence that I can't describe and their smell.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Is that in my imagination?
No. This is happening very often. Many people are telling me that, what you are telling me now. Yes.
So when I had those experiences, it gave me reassurance that they're still with me. What can you tell the listeners about communicating with their pets when they're sick and they need to know what's going on with them, or even after if they passed away? What advice can you give them to be open to this and receiving the messages from the animal? Is that possible?
Yes, it is possible for everyone. The qualification we give, or the name, the label, let's use the right words. The label that we use, like for example, when I'm telling you I'm a healer, an animal communicator, yes, but it's for helping people putting a sticker, unfortunately, which I don't really like because we have more possibilities. All of us, no exception, we have more possibilities than the title that the society is giving us, or the label that we accept to put on our forehead, say, okay, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, you are more than that. And what I want to say is everyone is born with the ability to communicate telepathically with animal, with nature, and with people. We all have this on the soul level. The only thing is that we have been educated and programmed in a certain way that we rely on the verbal language only. Then, of course, it's like a muscle that become rusty. And then you need to go back to the gym because you have rusty muscle and you need to train yourself for a certain time until the muscle start to become strong and you can use it again. It's exactly the same in terms of telepathy for human or animal. Well, the training is different, of course, because I'm training both. The training is totally different. It's easier to communicate with animal than people. I'm telling you. It's simple with animal because they have no hidden thought. They are pure. They are open to help you to communicate. And what I want to say to people, because this is inside you, you just need to reawaken. You just need to remember. You know, the best example is when the phone is ringing and you think about someone. Funnily, you take the call and say, "Oh my God, I was thinking about you." And the other person is saying, "Me too." This is pure telepathy, but this is the spontaneous telepathy that we do without forcing anything. That's the proof that it's a natural ability. Now, when you want to communicate with your animal, the best way I can advise you is do a small meditation. They have one, by the way, on my YouTube channel that I released a few months ago. And I'm guiding people how to enter in a relaxed state. I'm speaking with them and guiding them to arrive at a state where they can start to receive image, receive sensation. This is a beginning to start with. Then, of course, you can go deeper, but be open. Don't go with limitation or what the society told you, what your father maybe that didn't believe in that told you, or your mom. That was my case when I was a child. My mom told me, no, don't say that to anyone. Animal don't speak. No, it's your imagination. Remove all that belief, stay open, go with an open mind and an open heart, and you will see, you will be surprised of your own capacity. Try that meditation. I think this is the best guidance because often I'm explaining to people, but then when they are alone, they are like, okay, but where do I start now? Oh yeah, but they have the neighbors making noise, blah, 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 blah. They are not guided and they lost track. With that meditation, you put the earphone, let's go, and you go in. If you need to do many times, you will see that every time you do, you will open more channel. You will open more capacity that is already there but dormant. You will wake it up.
And on your YouTube channel, you teach us how to do that?
I did a meditation. I don't teach a full course. I will do a discovery course. I do a free one. And this will be a 2 hours free workshop that I call Animal Discovery, where you can test your abilities. When I say test, it's not really a test, but for people who still believe, "Oh, maybe I'm not capable, oh my God, what I will do." For 2 hours, I will guide you. You will have pictures on the screen of different animals and you will give me your first feeling after I explain to you exactly how it works. And we go on a deep, deep, deep level. Believe me, 2 hours is short, but at the same time, it's very long. In a way, how I'm explaining when we do the exercise, of course, we cannot do many exercise. We do 1 or 2 exercise because the time is quite short. It's not like a full class. But in general, when people finish that free workshop, they're like, "Oh, wow, I didn't know I'm capable to do this. And I'm surprised because I got this, I got that." They got even sometimes messages that they're like, "Wow, it's me." No, that's the animal who gave it to you.
Discovery course is on YouTube?
It will be on Zoom, it will be live, but people who are registered, they can have the replay. And then after that, I will post on YouTube after.
What's your YouTube channel?
My name, Sabine Poncelet.
Okay, and I'll put that in my notes. And you also have a website, SabineTherapies.com.
Correct.
What do you have on your website?
You can discover also many videos where I'm speaking with animal. They have also videos where I do healing on people as a demo, because like I said, I don't do animals only. On the website, you can discover many things about the technique I use to help people and animal to feel amazing in their life. It's time, I would say, to shine for each and every one.
I agree.
The time of burning the witch, cutting the head, I've been into past life. I know what it means, because with the job I do, I've done many, many regression in my past life. Oh my God. I've been abort in public place because I was a witch. They were calling witch. And finally, they were chasing the witch. I had my head cut. My God, many, many lives of trauma that I had to heal for me to be able to work on people and to speak today on the camera. Because for me, the camera for many, many years was like a spy, like the police, something like that. I had many, many fears about the camera. And I'm sure many people are in my situation. That's why I'm speaking about this. Oh my God, I had to do so much work to understand why I can't speak publicly. Yes, I was doing many classes here in Dubai, and I was happy to do in hotels, doing pictures, amazing, but don't do video. I can do a video. For example, I was turning my head like this and speaking to someone, and you film me from profile. But me looking at the camera like I do right now, impossible. I was frozen. And I discovered that it's because I've been punished for speaking my truth in the past. I was, of course, a witch, like I said, tortured, killed. Oh my God, many, many things. And it was linked to the fact that I've been humiliated in public. Then for me, showing on the camera was having a big exposure, bigger than my little group into the hotel. I had to do 3, 4, 5 classes, but in a small group. I was limiting myself because I was so scared to come on the camera. But for some others, can be deep like it was for me, can be linked to past life, can be linked to some trauma where you feel you have been humiliated in the past, or they killed you because you were speaking your truth, or you have been exposed in a public place and ashamed in public place. This is what the camera can reflect. It's like a mirror of your trauma. You get the point? For some people is like this. Yeah. And I really advise, if you have that problem, don't hesitate, go to dig deeper.
How did you discover your past lives, your last incarnation?
Through regression, because my intent was not doing a past life regression, but I'm a transpersonal regression therapist. It's a long word, let's say regression therapist. It's a specific technique where you can address the womb, when you was in the womb of your mother, your childhood, your trauma, PTSD, because finally I became specialized in PTSD because of my own life and the type of client I was attracting with a lot of PTSD. Then one day, because I'm working regularly with one of my colleagues who is on the same level as me, she's doing the same and we studied together. Then we do exchange. I do session with her, she's doing session with me and whatever. And one day I said to her, listen, I really have a problem with the camera and I'm sure this is deeper than what people are telling me, because I followed all the advice. It doesn't work. She said, okay, let's do a regression. And and she had the same as me, by the way. It's funny because every time I had a problem, she was discovering that she had similar issue. Then it was nice for us because we could work together and understand on a deeper level. When we were doing regression for trauma, sometimes I was going into childhood or go back to the trauma. But that day, I arrived directly into a past life where I've been tortured, humiliated, and so on. Yeah. And I had to do many, many sessions because I had many lives where I've been punished, killed, tortured, because I was healing people, speaking too much in public, and they didn't like that. They were calling witch. Everyone was a witch at that time. When you speak too much or you start to help people and you help them to heal.
And now there has never been a better time to be a witch.
Oh, yes, now that's the best time for all the witches. Or what we call witches, by the way, because, it's again a label. It's more than that. Yeah.
But we're reclaiming the word.
Aha, the power. Let's say like this, the power.
I like that. We're reclaiming our power.
The power. Yeah. We are reclaiming our power back to be able to help others. Yeah, again.
When did you first discover your telepathic abilities?
I was still a child, around 6, 7 years old. And it started with animal in a prey area with a cow. And then after that was a horse. My parents divorced. I was 5. And my mom was very busy with her life. Then I had often dispute with her even as a child. She was easily irritable. Then of course she was shouting whatever. Then I was feeling bad, and I was running away from house and going in the prey area because I was living in a village. That was very easy. And I was sitting near to a tree and crying and complaining, blah, 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 blah. Nobody loved me, child at that moment. And I heard, I'm here, but they had nobody around. Then I heard again, I'm here. They had nobody, only a cow. And I was like, oh, can you say that again? The cow said, I'm here. I hear you. I hear you. I can help you. Stay here. I can help you. And then I started to cry even more. And for me, it was not even shocking. It was like, okay, normal. Then I went back home and said that to my mom, but the way how she received was not the way I was expecting. Then I shut down because she said, animal don't speak. Don't say that to anyone. They will laugh at you and you will be punished. I was like, okay. Then later on, a horse, I got the same. Then I came back because I forgot what she said. And she repeated again, but with more intensity. And then I shut down. Because when parents are shouting at you, I say, now you stop. Okay. And it came back later on when I've been to a spiritism center with a friend of mine, where a medium told me clearly who I was and what were my capability that I have shut down. And she gave me detail, of course, that I could not deny because I was also seeing my grandfather. When he died, I was 7. My grandfather on my father's side. And I remember every night he was coming near to my bed. I was feeling weird because I didn't see him solid. You get the point? A bit transparent somehow. But anyway, it was him and it was a nice energy. And I felt that was someone who didn't want to do bad things on me. Then I said that again to my mom and she told me the same. This is bullshit. Shut down. And again, is in that famous session with my friend, I didn't put any pictures to receive any message. She did. And I was curious just to discover. And one medium got the message of my grandfather behind me. And she said, you have a man behind you, blah, blah, blah. And she started to give me detail how he was behaving with me when he was coming near to my bed. And that day I was like, wow. And then she said, listen, we give course here. You can come and we will train you because you have those abilities. And I'm telling you, this course is 2 years, but you will be with us on the podium. So, bullshit. But I was curious. Okay, let's go. Let's see what is it. And that's how I started to reawaken my gift because I shut down completely. I cut completely the connection. Yeah. And that's how it started.
Did your mother ever believe you?
Later on, yes. Not as a child.
How old were you when your mother finally believed you and listened?
I was 18 when I revealed that to her. Yeah, she believed me at that moment. And even my father, who was half-half, believed me too.
Do you think it scared them?
Yes, of course. I think it was scaring. For my mother, it was really scary because it's a village. Everyone knows everyone. And when a child is saying that he can speak to animals, especially at that time, people were not like today. My mom could have problem. If you look back at the situation, I understand why she shut me down somehow, and she has been so, no, you stop now, because she was so petrified, so scared of what could happen. Maybe neighborhood could send the police for stuff like that, especially at that time. And that was the best way, shut me down to be at peace and do not get trouble in case I'm speaking too much or I attract too much attention. It was a form of protection somehow, if you look deeper. But coming out of fear, yes, clearly. And here in Dubai, it was the same 10 years ago. Animal communication was not like now. I had people coming into my classes. They were open to that, but it was a small category. You get the point? Now, everyone is speaking about this, and they have other people practicing too. Not only me. I was the only one 10 years ago. And some people were looking at me like, whoa, she's weird. Okay, let her in her world, that's fine. And it's changing a lot. Now we have hotel that I accept pet. This didn't exist. We didn't have dog park. You could not go to the beach with your dog. Impossible. Was prohibited. Now it is open. And more restaurants open the doors to dogs to come on the terrace, stuff like that. Before you could not. And I have more and more people when I give a discovery course, for example. It's mainly, that course, that free workshop is mainly to raise awareness everywhere, because now it's time. I mean, that everyone knows that this is existing and it's possible for everyone. But this awareness course, few years ago, maybe I would get 5, 6 people. Today I get 30. It's a big difference. And it's only for animal. Because the interest for animal is often less than the interest for yourself. When I'm speaking interest, I'm speaking about animal communication. Many people still are stuck in their beliefs thinking like, yeah, but I speak already with my dog. I speak already. Yes, but not his language. Telepathy is a different language, and that's how your dog can communicate with you. Yes, but he behaves and I understand. Yes, but if he's in pain, can you feel it? No. Yes, but I will go to the vet. You see, they still have people speaking this way because they still didn't develop that side. And this is why I want to raise awareness, because people knows what is a healer, what is a psychic medium, everything. Everyone, or almost everyone, will go one time in their life to see a psychic medium, to see a healer, but to see an animal communicator or to follow a course, even worse. Even worse. Why I would learn to communicate with my dog? For what? I'm already communicating with. Some people are telling me this. Less now, of course. It's changing, like I said. But before, oh my God, a lot. Some people told me this is a cons. I said, what?
I think it's because of people like you are coming to the surface. You're in the public eye, and we are becoming more aware that this is real. You can communicate with animals.
Of course, you can.
Now, something that I truly believe in is every time I have found a pet or purchased a pet, that pet has chosen me. I did not choose that pet. Can you tell us why the pet chooses us?
This is correct. Them choosing us because they know exactly what we need. They often incarnate with a mission, and they know in advance what type of mission it is. They remember, in opposite to us, reincarnate and the veil. We forgot our past life. To remember our past life, we need to go through a certain process of hypnosis, whatever technique you use. But you need to go through that process, not for them. It's in front of their eyes, and they remember exactly who they were, which body they occupied before, and what mission they signed for. Then let's say a dog can come, or even a horse can come with the mission saying, okay, I will be a horse racing the first few years. And because this will happen to me during a racing, I will be hurted. They will retire me. And then this woman will have a good heart and rescue me. Otherwise, I will never meet her. Sometimes they enter in situation like this for us to meet them. I have a case with a client with a white chihuahua. That client wanted a dog since years, but she wanted a small dog that fit in her bag. That was the idea. The dog manifested. And the dog is born in the neighborhood, and the neighbors said, oh, my female just got, babies, blah, blah, blah. Come. No, I'm not interested. But it's a small dog, and they will stay small. And then she went and she fell in love. They had only one white. The other one were black and white. The only one that was fully white was the one she chose, and it was a female, and she wanted a female. That dog, I had a conversation with the dog, and in addition to that, that client did a transpersonal regression with me, where she discovered the soul of that dog in past life. And myself even have been surprised. That little chihuahua have been a horse, and I've been another big dog before, and said, I choose to be in that small body, even if I seems weak, I'm not. Because this is my soul, and now I'm showing you what I was, which type of body I have occupied before, which type of mission I had, and why I came to you, because you needed emotional support for this, and that. The dog knew. I have many, many stories like this. My cat, I met her on Facebook. Just to tell you, it's a funny story. I was screening, like everyone on Facebook. And since few months, I felt I need to adopt a cat. I need to adopt a cat. Why all of a sudden a cat? Because I had myself a brown chihuahua that I rescued when he was 6 years old. But at that moment, he was already 15. And I know chihuahua cannot live 20, 21 years. Impossible. Anyway, he died. He was 16. And he had a heart disease already when I rescued him. Long story short, this idea was coming to me. It was infused, in me since few months. Then I was like, okay, let's see. And on Facebook, I was typing the word cat for adoption. First pictures I saw was her big yellow eyes. It was like big mama. And I'm like, oh, I love it. I looked in her eyes. I was like, oh, I love that. I called. I said, can I come to see that cat? Yes, of course. I entered there. They said, listen, she has been rescued with 7 babies in the street. Only 2 survived. The 2 are there. You can take the kitten. I'm like, no, I'm not interested in the kitten. I want the mom. I was with a fixed idea. And I know this has been orchestrated in advance from the guides. They don't work alone, huh? They also work like us with guides and the universe. That mama cat was already big. She was 6 kilos at that time, and she's still 6, by the way. Looked at me, and I was like, listen, I have a dog, and if you want to come with me, but I have a dog, show me. But I didn't say in front of the woman. I said telepathically. And then that cat started to move around in the room. They had maybe 20 cats in that big room. And they had a cage in a corner. She entered in the cage and she stayed there. And then the woman looked at me. She said, this is the message. She said, yes, thank you. Because that woman was not open to animal communication. They said, yes, thank you. You are right. This is the message. But I asked before.
All of this is so fascinating.
She knew I will come. Everything has been orchestrated. And I'm not joking. Even myself, I had difficulties at the beginning. Like, wow. Everything has been orchestrated in detail. The kitten I have now, which she's not okay with, by the way, but will take more time. Let's see. Or maybe I will make him adopted. For now, I still don't know, to be honest with you, and I'm not even questioning anymore. That kitten jumped into my car. completely, and he sat on my seat, passenger seat, with the paw like this on his back, like he was already at home. And I was like, what the heck? Because I've seen many street cats. I go to cuddle, but they run away because they are street cat. Even the kittens, they run away in general, or they come and after a few minutes they disappear. They don't follow you. That one, he followed me until I arrived at my car, and my car was not near to the building. I went out of the building, he ran after me, follow me until the car, and then I opened the door, say, oh, I will run away now. So, okay, let's try. I put him in the car and he installed himself on the seat. Since that day, he's with me.
Is your YouTube channel linked on your website, sabinetherapies.com?
Yes.
If I post your website and someone clicks on it, they can access your YouTube channel also from there?
Yes, it worked both ways. You have when you check about on my YouTube channel, you have my Facebook, my website. And when you go on my website, I think it's on the right corner, above or down, into the address and everything. You have the banner for Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And you click on and you arrive there.
Thank you, Sabine. This has been very fascinating, and more people are going to know about animal communicators and animal healers because of you.
Thank you.
And you're opening our eyes.
If you have a gift, no matter what is your gift, please share it with the world. And if you're afraid of the camera, do your own work. Be committed. Go deep, deep, deep down to find out why you can't show up on the camera, because you need to show up. You need to shine. That's time to share. For each and everyone, honestly, any gift you have, you must absolutely share with the world, no matter what is the gift. If you are shy, okay, work on yourself. You're afraid of the camera, okay, work on yourself, but show up. Show up. Please show up. This is very important, especially now. It's so important. They have so many people, that needs help and can reach out, because you are the one who corresponds to them. Everyone is unique. I cannot attract everyone. I have certain clients that are attracted to me because I have my own uniqueness that resonate with those specific unique people. It's the same for you. Then this is why I'm saying you're afraid. Okay, work on this. You are shy. Okay, work on this, but show up on the camera, because they have many people who need you, and only you, nobody else. This is why today competition doesn't exist for me anymore, because I know that you are made for a certain category of people, and I'm made for another category of people because of our uniqueness. But don't stay hidden, show up.
And that's the true message. Don't stay hidden, because now is your time to shine, since there has never been a better time to be a witch.
Correct. I stayed hidden for years.
Yeah, it's taken us for a long time.
Why? Too long. Don't do like me. Please, show up now.
Thank you, Sabine.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
It has been a pleasure.
Thank you for joining us for Witchcasting with Theodora Pendragon. Have a burning question or have a topic you'd love Theodora and her guests to discuss on the show? Contact her through Instagram at Theodora Pendragon. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next one. And help us spread the word by leaving us a rating and review and sharing it with your friends. See you next time, and may your magic always shine.